Okay, great. I will make a start. Well, it's fantastic to see you here today, and I just want to say hello and welcome to today's MSc Musculoskeletal Science Open Day. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kate Thomas. I am the Events Officer for the Faculty of Medical Sciences here at UCL and your chair for today's event. We're hoping this session will address those course-specific questions you may have and will help you to gain an insight into what it is really like to study on our exciting Musculoskeletal Science MSc programme. I'm delighted to welcome today's speaker, Professor Chaozong Liu, who is here to address any questions you may have about our MSc programme. And there'll be plenty of interactive opportunities for you to join in throughout today's event. We just wanted to let you know that this session is being recorded and will be made available following today's event. We're here to respond to your questions, so please share those throughout using the Q&A function on Zoom, or if you're feeling brave, we can always promote you to a panelist to ask your question live. So now to introduce our speaker, we have Professor Chaozong Liu. Chaozong is a professor of orthopedic bioengineering. His current research is directed towards the biomaterials processing and development of enhanced medical devices for treating musculoskeletal disorders, tissue repair, and regeneration. Chaozong is also the MSc Musculoskeletal Science course tutor. Thank you so much, Chaozong. Now over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for your introduction. As welcome to come to the open event for the MSK program. Now I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. I will go to the. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon. As we have some of the students come from the overseas, so welcome to the MSK Open event. So today I would like to talk about why UCL and what the UCL MSK program is about. So the first, I think most of you maybe already know UCL, but today I would like to talk about something about the history about UCL. So actually, our UCL is the first university in England to welcome students of any religion or social background. UCL also the first university in England to welcome women to the university education. We are also the first in England to teaching English, German, chemistry, and engineering. So this tradition has been progressed. This is the approach that continues until today. So that is the UCL, the history. So UCL also one of the best university in the world. EQS ranking last year, UCL ranked the 8th in the world, the 4th in Europe, and the 4th best university in the UK. So we are proud ourselves on our academic excellence. So we have 30 Nobel Prize laureates. So in UCL, we are the largest university in the UK. So at the moment, UCL has 11 academic faculties. We have around 44,000 students, 40,000 staff. So we are ranking the first in the UK in terms of the research strength. So in university, we are just, have the multinational the staff at the university come all from the world. We have more than 150 nationality represented by the student body. So the MSK program, we are part of the Division of Surgery and the Interventional Science. So for this surgery, so our world-leading teaching and research is aimed at the meeting unmet clinical needs. So we are teaching and the research to take place across 3 broad areas. So one area is about the tissue and energy, nanotechnology, materials and tissue. So the teaching and the research, we across the 3 main campus in London, that is the Bloomsbury campus. We also have some research and teaching team based at Royal Free Hospital. And also we have the research and teaching based at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital, Stanmore. So we work with our partner hospitals at the AHS Trust, including Royal Free Hospital, Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital, and UCLH hospitals. We utilize e-learning environment, lecture recordings, and the traditional lecture, seminar, lab work, and other delivery format to provide a well-rounded education experience to the student. So that is we want to improve the learning outcome of our students. So it's about our MSc program. For the MSc program, as we mentioned that we are part of Division of Surgery and Interventional Science. So this program, we deliver the teaching mainly in the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital, Stanmore. We have 3 streams of the study. One is about the full-time study. For the full-time study, they need 1 year to complete. We also have part-time and the flexible study. So that will take up to 2 years to complete a MSK program. Additionally, we also have this learning study model. So this learning study model can take up to 5 years to complete MSK program. For the MSK program, this program is targeted or designed for the student with a desire to develop their knowledge and the skills in musculoskeletal bioengineering and regenerative medicine. So they can be suitable for the student with a background, mechanical, biomaterials, biology and rehabilitation and physiotherapy student. So this program also suitable for the medical trainees, nurses, and biomedical engineers who are looking to take their career to the next level. We are also suitable, the MSK program also suitable for the healthcare service professionals, medical device engineers, and complementary therapists who are interested in acquiring knowledge in musculoskeletal system. So that's the MSK program is designed for. So the way the student come to register with this program, we can provide a few key modules for the teachings. One of the key modules for the teaching is the clinical aspect of the musculoskeletal medicine and the surgery. So this module will mainly delivered by our clinician partners based in the Royal National Hospital. So we also have one of the key modules we call the musculoskeletal biology. So this module we will introduce about the main concept of the tissue biology related to the musculoskeletal systems. We also have module for the musculoskeletal biomechanics and biomaterials. So this mainly related to the tissue biology, tissue biomechanics, and the biomaterials used for the design for the orthopedic applications. We also have the clinical experience module. So this clinical experience module will be delivered in Royal Free Hospital in term 2. So additionally, we also have the musculoskeletal epidemiology and the research methodology module, mainly to improve the student learning outcome and the research skills. So in addition to the teaching module, so this program we also have the research project. So the research project we arranged the research project in term 3. So the student they can either do the lab-based project or clinical-based project. So that is all the key modules. So we will arrange the teaching. We have some of the modules as compulsory modules. We also have the modules for the option modules to adapt it to the student learning aims. So in STEMO, in the Royal National Orthopedic Hospital, we have a few research centers. As a research center, one of the research centers is for the biomedical engineer. So this research center we have established the research track record. This research center established in 1949. So this is the world leading center for orthopedic implant innovations. So this research center is advanced in musculoskeletal tissue repair and regeneration. So this research center provides unique environment for our scientists and engineers who collaborate with the clinicians for addressing the unmet clinical needs. So that is one of the research center we have. We also host the London Implant Retrieval Center. So this the implant retrieval center is one of the 2 retrieval centers in the world. So this implant retrieval center established as 10 years ago. So the aim is to better understand the mechanism of the failure of the metal-on-metal hip replacement, and using this knowledge to help surgeons, patients refer to us, and the implant manufacturer to determine when to do the revision of the surgery. Which patient with a metal-on-metal hip replacement are at risk of the future problem. We are also hoping to how to select the patient for the metal-on-metal hip replacement. We can also help to design the metal-on-metal implant for the manufacturers. So that is so far in London Implant Retrieval Center, we have collected over 10,000 failed implants over the world. Another research center is a recently established research center for the rehabilitation engineer and assistive technology. So this is quite a relatively new research center. In this research center is mainly study about human-machine interactions, implant design, development, neuromuscular disease, and also the visual training of the patient. So we also have the research center for tissue regeneration science. So this research center where mainly is targeting about the treating the typical orthopedic disease, including cartilage tissue repairs, bone tissue engineering, and regenerative medicine. And also we're also hoping to establish the osteochondral tissue repair and regeneration expertise and practice. So when the student come to the Stanmore Hospital, basically the Royal National Orthopedic Hospital, so during your study at the Stanmore, actually the student life is quite colorful. As you can see, this is our previous student event we organized based on Stanmore. We are also have the, under the end of the year, we also organize prize giving event. This is our previous prize giving event for example, with the student complete MSK study. So that we have the MSc academic prize. We also have the John Scale prize. We also have the Elizabeth Robinson prize. So every year we will organize the prize giving event for the best student in the study who have completed MSK program successfully. So that is really about our research center and also our student life. Actually, in Stanmore, we have academic, we also collaborate with the clinicians to address the unmet clinical needs. So through our study, through our research, some part of the student also involved the research once they started MSK program in Stanmore. So this is a few of the research highlights. It's the research staff, academic staff, and the clinicians that we achieved during the past few years. So one of the research highlights is about implant retrieval analysis. So as we mentioned that for the implant retrieval analysis, we try to understand how the implant fail, why the implant fail. So if implant fail, what is the information we can collect to improve the design and development of the new implant? So the basic on research actually is that we found the quite a big problem for the metal hip implant, especially for the young female patient. So based on the research is the manufacturer of the metal implant, Johnson & Johnson, they have to withdraw the metal implant from the market. So that's one of the research. Another kind of the research highlight is about the development of custom-tailored implant. So using the custom-tailored implant, we can improve the clinical performance of the implant significantly. We are also design a development for the implant, we call it growing implant. This growing implant, especially for the young children, because the children, their bone still growing when they receive the implant. So we need an implant to growing with the bone, with the children's bone. So this is one type of the growing implant we design and development in the UCL stem. So this another research highlight is we call it the ITAP. That's the implant attached to the bone in a pioneer technique that have private infection at discomfort. So this is one of the few examples. So for example, using the ITAP, this lady lost her arm in London 77 the bomb. So that is after the bomb, we developed ITAP that to restore the function of her arms, as you can see. So this is the ITAP. Using the ITAP can improve her life of the quality significantly. So this ITAP technology, not just suitable for human, it can be also suitable for the animal. For example, for the pet, if this pet is lost both legs in a traffic accident, using so this ITAP technology, they can also restore the function of the joints to improve the quality of life of the patients. We are also developing of the tissue technology for the tissue repair regeneration. And this is ROF. This is ROF developed by Professor in our 3D tissue module stuffs. We are also developing osteochondroscopic technology for the early intervention of the osteoarthritis. So this is the collaboration project between this academic and clinical staff. So at the moment, we are doing the clinical trial in the Royal National Orthopedic Hospital. We're using the scaffold technology for the early intervention osteoarthritis with the aim to delay or avoid the use of the joint replacement. So that is about our research highlight. It's a research highlight in UCL STEM. Thank you for your attention. So I think at least it's I'm the program leader. We also have the teaching administrator, Mrs. Williams. So we also list the emails about this program. If the student, any of you, if you have any further inquiries, please contact us. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chaozong, and that was an extremely fascinating presentation. So thank you so much for providing further details about the topic as well. So this leads us nicely to our Q&A segment of the event. So I can see that we have quite a few attendees, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for joining us. If you do have any questions for Chaozong, and also I believe we do have a couple of students, current students on the course as well, that will be able to help. We've got Mo on the call and possibly a couple of others. So if you have any questions specifically for our students as well, please do let us know. I'll just take a quick look at the Q&A function, but you can also put any questions you have in the chat, or if you have any science related questions, I'm sure Chaozong will be happy to answer those also. Okay.
Yeah, I think today we have Mo and Liqi. Both of Mo and Liqi are our former MSK student. Now they are studying PhD at UCL. So if you have any question related to the student life, any question related to the program, so feel free to ask.
Oh, and we have Okay, great. We have a student that's left a comment in the chat, so I'll just read that out. So, hi, Professor Liu. My name is Zihan, and I'm a UCL Pharmacology and Biomedical Sciences student. I have already applied for the MSK program, and recently I'm interested in stem cell therapy and its use in treating musculoskeletal diseases. For example, using patients' own skin cells to regenerate tissues like cartilage. I know this is a very new topic. Are we going to have some lectures, modules, or research projects relating to this stem cell topic? And what are some advantages for them as a UCL undergraduate student to study the program? And what are some possible careers in this field? So I think that's a few questions. So perhaps we can tackle those one by one. So the first point is more about covering, are you going to cover this new exciting topic in the lectures, modules, or research projects?
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, is that for the stem cells research, in STEMO, in the Royal National Orthopedic Hospital, so we have actually two approach for the cartilage repair and regeneration. One of the approach leading by our clinician academics, in the hospital. So for the one is about the stem cell therapy. At the moment, it's either clinical trial. So stem cell therapy to regenerate cartilage defect. That's leading by the Professor John Skinner. So this we already treat using stem cell to more than 100 patients in the hospital. So that's the one approach we're using stem cell therapy for the early treatment of the cartilage defect. So in the hospital, we're also using the ACI procedure to treat the patient. ACI procedure, that meaning we can take the cell, we can take a biopsy of the cartilage from the patient. We bring to the lab, expand the cells number, congruent cells. Once the cells, we get enough number of the cells, we can inject back to the patient. So this procedure has also been approved by NICE. This now is ACI procedure. Is actually in the clinical practice to treat the patient the cartilage defect. So that both stem cell therapy and ACI procedure are practicing at actually in this hospital. So in terms of teaching, instrumental teaching, we are also have two modules over the 1 year study. So for the teaching, first term teaching, we related as a musculoskeletal tissue biology module in term 1. In term 1, we can, in these terms, we also including cell biology, for example, tissue stem cells biology. In the second term, we also have the musculoskeletal biology part 2 module. So in part 2 module, we are more focused on application. How to using the, for example, including the stem cell therapy to treat the orthopedic conditions. So orthopedic conditions including, for example, we use, as I mentioned, the osteoarthritis. We are also using the stem cell therapy or the cell biology technology for the other tissue, soft tissue for the ligament, tendon, rotator cuff repairs, and also spinal disc. We are also using this stem cell technology for the heart tissue, for example, the bone disease, osteoporosis, bone fractures, and also even for the So large bone defect reconstruction after remove the bone sarcoma. So that is about our stem cell technology and the stem cell therapy. I think for the student, they come to this program, they have chance to learn these new technologies. They also have the opportunity to do the research project in term 3. So we have some of the project related to the, for example, the PRP stem cells, and also other type of the cells research project. I'm not sure, have I answered your question?
I think you've covered the 3 parts to that question, but again, if there's anything specific you want an answer to, please do feel free to just add another question. Maybe we could go to the second part of the questions as well for that one. So are there any advantages for a prospective student that's already an undergraduate student studying at UCL?
Okay. As we mentioned that for the MSK program, we are basically in the Royal National Orthopedic Hospital. For the teaching, as a part of the teaching, for example, clinical aspect module, clinical experience module. Even for other modules, we also clinician who provide the teaching in other modules. So that is this teaching style. We basically stand on Royal National Orthopedic Hospital. They provide excellent environment to interact with the clinical staff. We interact with the clinical staff. So during the study at STAMO, during the study for the MSK program, so the students have so many chance to interact with the clinical staff and also with the academic staff. So actually, we also have the opportunity to go to a theater to interact with the patient. You can also have the experience to see how the clinician to treat the patient. For example, they can treat the patient that for the how to do the knee replacement, how to do the shoulder replacement, how to assessing the patient's conditions. So actually, in the clinical aspect, the clinical experience module. So the student, they will go to the Royal Free Hospital. Each week, they spend 1 day in one ward. So the students in this module will last for 6 weeks. So that once the student complete this module, the clinical experience module, the student will have chance to shadow the clinician in 6 different awards in Royal Free Hospitals. So that will give the student the really very good experience working in the hospital and how the surgeon treat the patients. So that's the experience, very good experience for the student.
Yeah, and I think as well, obviously, if you're an applicant that's already studying at UCL, you've got that added benefit of already knowing the university, how kind of the culture and everything around it, and also you have that knowledge that maybe you've already visited potentially the Royal Free and various other hospitals that we have very close connections with in the area. So those are all kind of added benefits. So the other part to that question is also just addressing some possible careers in the field. So I don't know, Chaozong, if you have examples of careers that alumni are currently in, or possibly what what even our current students can actually tell us a bit about, you know, are they going into research, or will they be planning another kind of career path? So yeah, I'll hand over to you, Chaozong.
Okay, thank you. That is a very good question. I think most of the students, they just pick up or started one of the program. It's the future career is quite important aspect for the MSc study. For MSK program, for most of the students, so once they complete this program, some of the students, they would like to continue their study. They just some students get the offer from UCL, from other university like Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial College. So I think every year we have quite a few students, they would like to continue their PhD study. So that is one of the direction the student that can go to continue the study. Some student, they would like to just start to working. I think for most of the student is that they can find a job in the healthcare related field. For example, we have student. So once they finish the job, they found the job as a even we have the aspirational trainees in this course. So once they complete this program, they will boost their chance to get a training number to become a trainee in the hospital. So we also have quite a few students. They found a job in medical device manufacturers. As mentioned that Johnson, the biometric, and we also have the, for example, the striker. Actually, the striker, before we have the stem implant worldwide. This is UCL stem spin-out company. In 2016, Stryker acquired stem implant worldwide. So that despite 397 million pounds, to acquire the stem implant worldwide. So actually, the Stryker they have the manufacturing site in stem business park, not far from stem. We also have the student, they go to the Stryker stem implant worldwide Stryker, working there as a design engineer to design, for example, it's a customer tailored implant. We also have the student, they find a job in the regulatory consulted company. So regulatory consulted company is any medical device, any biomaterials you develop before you can go for a clinical trial, you have to meet the regulatory requirement. So if you want to go to the market, you have to meet the regulatory requirement. We have students that find a job in the regulatory consulting companies. So actually, it's a direction is quite a diverse direction. We even have the student found a job in the bank. We even have the student found a job in bank, investment bank, because the bank they also want to investment in the medical device industry. They need their staff. They have experience or knowledge in the medical device. and also how the medical device application clinically. So they also need to recruit some the staff, new staff, to have the knowledge about the musculoskeletal systems. So that is quite diverse. Is that you can see is that for the future career, so depend on the student, their interest, and also they depend on their personality. Also depend on the, is that really depend on, it's. I think during the 1 year study in STEM, this you can just acquire a lot of new knowledges, new skills in healthcare related sectors. So that will boost your future career if you want to work in the healthcare related sectors.
Fantastic. So it's quite broad actually in terms of career pathways that students have taken, from kind of going either into healthcare directly via the NHS, or whether they've gone off to another pathway and studied into research further. And then, yeah, like you're saying, some students have even gone into kind of consultancy, becoming regulators or even bankers. So that's quite interesting to hear that kind of that information. I hope that answers those questions from Zihan, but if there is anything that we have missed, please feel free to pop another question in the chat. I know that we've got another question from Sushruth in the Q&A, so I will just go to that one. So they're interested in the MSK course and then further to pursue their career in the NHS. So the question is there any specific pathway, counselling services from the university to aid in that transition? Additionally, is it common for graduates to go into the NHS, or do most opt to continue research in a PhD programme? So I think we've probably addressed a couple of those questions, but yes, Chaozong, do you have anything to add about the question about is there any specific pathway, counselling services from the university that aids the transition?
Okay, so that also quite a good question. So actually, in the university, so we have a few pathways we can provide advice or service, provide advice or counseling to the student, leading them, to increase their chance for the career development. One is from the university. So the UCL, we have an office is about the student union. They have the office about the career development. So they have the a few staff they can provide, provide advice. They even running some of the training course for the student, not just for MSK student. They provide the service, advice service for all the students across UCL. So they have for example, they can provide advice on your CV development. The student, they can make appointment with them, to for example, to talk about your CV, how to develop your CV. They can also provide advice for the interview. They provide interview, how to do the interview. They are also provide the service, for example, the provider provide information for the interested student. So that is they also regularly organize the workshop and the seminars. That is provided from the UCL Student Union as Career Development Office. So that's very good place that for the student you can seeking advice or counseling from the student union. So that's the one of the approach. The second pathway in our division, we also have the module is about career development that leading this module leading by the by BPAC, so that leading by the this just only provide counseling advice for the student with the division of the surgery at interventional size. So that we are also provide regular, we have the seminars, workshops for our student with the division of the surgery at the interventional size. So that the second pathway. The third pathway is all the MSK student. Once you register with UCL, so we will allocate a personal tutor to all the MSK student. So the personal tutor is your first contact point in UCL. So you can seek advice from your personal tutor. So the advice, for example, any aspect of your personal life or study life in UCL. So we can provide advice. We can also provide some counseling to the student, to the tutees. So that is a good point. Also, very good point for you talk to your personal tutors about your career development, to seeking their advice and seeking the counseling. They can also provide, for example, is that how do you prepare your CV, prepare interviews. Also, they can act as a referee. So they can provide good referees to our student when you come to the later stage for the job applications. So that's the third pathway for the student to get advice and counseling. So in additionally, because during the course, we also have the guest lectures. These guest lectures is from the hospital, from the industry, and also from our partner companies. So this also provide a very good opportunity. You can talk to them, seeking their advice. If you want to go for industry, we have the guest lecture from the industry. You can talk to them, seeking their advice. So that is also, I think, is that we have the many opportunities for the student. You can explore, you can get advice and seeking counseling. So once you register with the university.
Thank you, Chaozong.
Thank
you. I think we actually have a question that might be good for the current students to answer. So I don't know, Mo, if you're able to unmute, or if you're feeling brave, turn your camera on. But it would be interesting. So the next question is about a little bit, firstly, just saying thank you so much for answering all the other questions in so much detail. They're just a quick question about the student life. So they're aware that Stanmore campus is a little bit further from central London. Is transportation been a problem for the students, or do you find that it's quite straightforward? So perhaps Mo, would you be able to just give your viewpoint on the transport?
Okay. I think the transport is not a big problem because you can choose the UCL student accommodation located on the central London, but you can also choose another accommodations located on like Stanmore, like Wembley Park, or located at the Edgware. So for me, I'm currently living on the Wembley Park. It's a student accommodation. It's not held by the UCL. It's held by some outside companies, and you can also choose some social accommodations. That depends on you. And I mean, for me, living on the Wembley Park, it will take me about 40 minutes from the Wembley Park to the Stanmore, and it's easily to from the accommodation to the tube station, and it's easily to take the tube. Then it will be a shuttle bus can take you from the Stanmore station to the Stanmore campus. So I think it's not a big problem. Yeah, that's my answer. Hope it can answer the question.
Great, thank you so much, Mo. Hopefully that has addressed the, yep, it looks like that addressed the question. So thank you so much, Mo. And if you do have any questions for Mo as well, please feel free to pop them in the chat. We do have another question, which again is a bit about the possible careers in the NHS, specifically after completion of this master's. So Chaozong, do you have any specific examples of careers in the NHS that past students have gone into?
In the past, is that this program at the beginning is only to we only have the trainees, medical trainees for this program. We also is for the medical student, for the once they have the study 3 years in medical school, they can start the intercalating year in this program. And that at the beginning is that mainly the student mainly from the medical trainee and medical student. So at the beginning, as all the student once complete this program, if the student they come back to the medical school to continue their medical study. If the student they have the complete medical study, they can study the course. Once they complete the course, they will just find the job in the AHS as the trainees. So recently, apart from the medical student doing the intercalating course with us, we also have the student with a background, non-medical background. Non-medical background, for example, the student studied biological science, biological engineering, biomaterials. For this type of student for the past few years, I think some of the students also found a job in AHS. AHS, for example, they can working as a bioengineer to do the tissue analysis, the tissue bank. Even some students also working in the hospital, research innovation centers. So they also have the student found a job, for the working as a research assistant or research engineer to support the surgeon, to do the operations. So that kind of the work for the non-medical student. But
Great.
after they started the program, so they found the job in AHS.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chaozong. We do actually have another question. I'm conscious of time, so we have about 3 minutes left. So the final question is looking at, so as part of the modules, are there any, is there any specific scope for sport injuries in particular, and any potential interactions with the sports medicine department?
Actually, it's quite a good question. Quite a good question. Is that during the lecture, is for the term 2. Term 2, we arrange the teaching focus around the six theme topics. One of the topics is about the sports injuries. So sports injuries, we actually we teaching the student how the injuries, what are the injury, the treatment. We also have once you have the injuries, how to for example, as a physiotherapy to recover from injuries. Also have the teaching related to rehabilitation about the sports injuries. So now in the division, a few years ago, create another MSK program, another MSc program focused on the sports injury. For the sports medicine, but they are more focused on how about the sports as a sports size. But for our MSK, when we talk about sports injury, we more focus on the treatment of the sports injury and the rehabilitation of the sports injuries.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chaozong. Well, we hope that today's session has been helpful for you in your decision-making process. And we very much hope to hopefully see you at UCL soon. And yes, if you do have any other questions, I know Chaozong and Ruth would be delighted to hear from you. I know that they shared their details earlier, but you can also access them, their details on our website as well. So we do have a very quick survey that will launch just shortly after the webinar closes. So we would really appreciate your feedback for today's event. And if there's anything we could do to improve future events, it'd be really helpful to hear from you as well. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much, Chaozong and Mo, and all our other students that were able to join us today for the call. And lastly, just say thank you so much for attending the event as well. It's been lovely meeting you and having you involved in today's event. So we hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you very Thank you very much. If you have further questions related to MSK program, please get in touch.
Fantastic. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.